Hey brothers and sisters, well, we're still here with this channel trying to help our friends around us in our community, and I think we're getting a few good results. A very good book, The Wisdom of Kung Fu by Michael Minnick, and it's kind of a little bit like one of my Bibles that I'm not a big reader, but I want to apply something of this here to depression, to anxiety, and to a whole raft of other things that people suffer from. I'm going to read a little excerpt out of it, and I was going to say expert. This is in the book, the part about superior man, and it talks about what superior man is. The wise man puts personal gain last and thereby is found in the highest places. He recognizes that his body is merely a shell, and thereby his person is perceived. Such a man has no private nor personal ends. Thereby all his goals acts bear fruit. The sage-minded man lives a life free from care. Wouldn't that be great? He does not indulge in any anxious doubts. He does not lay plans beforehand. He does not lay plans beforehand. Right, what does it mean? Well, it means don't be fucking silly and get yourself all worked up over stuff that's going to happen in the future that you've got no control over. Wouldn't that be just fantastic if we didn't have that? Fear is the thief of dreams, as I have talked about many times. Now, I read a very good book. It also was a ancient, I believe it was a Buddhist book, and it had something which really sat with me, and it said that man is prepared to fight and die for the cause, or his cause, but he's not prepared to give up the cause of his suffering. That means people will actually die before giving up what it is that they're dying for. Just think about that for a minute. You got this weight around your neck. For a lot of people, it's really injustices that happen when they're very young, either with their father or their mother. Often with men, it's their fathers, and it can also be their mothers too. And they'll carry that right to the grave, rather than saying, "Hey, Dad, I need to sit down and talk with you. You really, really hurt me when this happened." And the father will try and dismiss it, generally, because if he has to validate it, that means he actually has to look at his own stuff. He's going to have to look at his own stuff. And that's not fun. Or the daughter might say to the mother, "Hey, Mum, you really, really hurt me when you blah, 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 blah." And generally the mother will just like cut her down, because the daughter's reflecting something that's in the mother that she doesn't like in herself. Mothers will seldom really, and that's why you have the stage going through, particularly teen years, where bits of the female brain are flying off. It's a fact. I had a real tough stage with my own daughter through that time, and I understood what's going on. The brain is losing parts and regaining its own identity. But in that time, in that interim, there's a lot of things which the daughter's only learnt from where she came from, which was what? Her mother and her father. And she mirror images things that the mother and father don't like to admit about themselves. My kids did it. And I went, "Yep, this feels fucking horrible, you're right." Rather than going, "Oh, you make things up," or "Oh, you've got a great imagination," I validated it. So this thing about anxiety or even depression, from what we read out of the master here, he talks about it as being almost like a luxury that you have to indulge in it, like you're indulging in something, like indulging in chocolate or indulging in whiskey or indulging in bacon. You're indulging in it. Here's an interesting thing. In countries like Jakarta, real poor countries where everyone's just struggling to live, they have virtually zero suicide and no depression. Anxiety and depression are new age illnesses that have been afforded those that have the luxury to have them. That means those that have the time to actually sit and ponder and get themselves into a state. It's insanity. I mean, if you sat in the street somewhere in public, if you put yourself in the main street and you suddenly started going bang, 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 and you hit, that hurts, bang, 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 everybody think you're insane. Look at that guy hitting himself, he's hurting himself. Yet it's no different to fear building up and allowing it, and feeling anxious or feeling guilt or feeling any emotion that's the same as hitting you in the head. It's just that people can't see it, and you can put on an act, you're all calm, but on the inside you're hitting yourself. It's a form of insanity. You don't find it in countries where people are just struggling to survive. People are just like day to day grinding, just being able to get enough firewood to keep the fires burning. Or in some countries, plastic to keep the fires burning. where they're struggling from day to day just to find that one meal to feed their children and going without themselves. They don't have any depression. They don't have any anxiety because they are constantly just trying to survive. And that's how we have evolved. So this depression and this anxiety, they're new age diseases that are afforded only to mostly Western society. Countries like New Zealand, Australia, we are the wealthy country. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, geez, these bloody corporations that have that whole 1% of the wealth in the world, the really rich is just 1%. We're the fucking 1%. If you live in New Zealand and you've got 3 meals a day, you're in the 1%. A majority of the world, the other 99%, are struggling on a day-to-day basis just to keep a roof over their head, medicine for their children, food for themselves, to pay for energy. They're struggling. A lot of the world is struggling. You go and have a holiday in India, or go and have a holiday in China, or go to some of the places even around Russia, or go to the Middle East in a lot of places. So those people don't have this dilemma. They just have struggle on a physical level, trying to survive. So keep that in mind next time you feel yourself going down a dark road. You're sitting in your vehicle all comfortable and you've got plenty of fat on your body. You might even be overweight. You've got plenty of weight on your body. Just look at your body and go, hey, I've actually got so much food. I'm putting so much into myself. I've actually allowed myself to get overweight. And now I'm having these thoughts that are causing me distress and anxiety. Just stop for a moment and imagine how life could really be. The thing is, today, for me, today is a really, really good day. It's a fantastic day. I woke up, I had sleep, I didn't have any pain. I woke up, I felt really, really good. I felt good about my relationship with my children, my relationships. I felt good with my relationships with the friends around me. Mate Simon came around, I shook his hand and saw him. I gave my son a hug. I patted my dog. Today's a great day. But there was a time in my life where I feared what tomorrow might bring. There was a time in my life where I was anxious about certain things in the future. But this day has arrived, and it's a great day. So the day that you're having right now is the day that you possibly feared in the past too. If you had anxiety or you had fear of something going wrong, this is the day. What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that happened to me was I got cancer and I survived it. I'm still here. And I'm having fun talking to you guys. Very wise book. The message here is, if you really can indulge in being depressed, really can indulge in having anxiety, maybe you need to dig deeper and see what your real true life is and where it's put you really, and is there really a real problem? Is there something really that bad? Because right now, if you've got that going on, and I'm not saying that depression and anxiety aren't real, they're absolutely real. I'm not diminishing that you'd be suffering that, but just keep things in balance. Because this day is the future that you were fearful of, and is it okay? Check it, a brother or a sister, and I'll leave you with this video. See you later.